You know, I never actually showed off these credits proper. You can blame these people for making this game. Not as many as I would have expected. I don't know, this game has a lot of content from being made by like how many people was that there? Yeah, 9-10 people here? Jeez. So anyway, now that they got like a whole host of different crazy things that I think they're planning on coming out with a 4th update here. Most notably wall jumping. Talk about that a little bit later. But hey, I'll do a regular old normal run. It's been a little while since I've done anything with Dead Cells here, so why not, you know, just do a little bit of just classic gameplay. I think that every single one of the videos on my channel has either been doing like trying to get blueprints, doing challenge runs, all that sort of stuff. Why not just have a normal old Dead Cells run? And make it a little bit gimmicky or a little bit more, at least palpable to somebody who just kind of comes across this video. How about make it like a use what you see run. Anytime I see like an item on the ground, I will use it. And I'll make sure to take at least, I don't know, 1 item from every single shop. 1 item of my choice, but, you know, something a little interesting here. So what do they got coming out with Major Update 4? It looks like it's going to be a lot of, like, not, like, basic content, basic features, but more like biomes, probably enemies, all that sort of stuff. Because what they basically said with the update here is that they are going to be focusing on more of the Metroid-style elements rather than the roguelike, you know, bread and butter, simple, like, absolutely necessary gameplay elements, which I think is a good plan right now. Something that I want a lot more in this game is more like biomes, more places to go through, stuff to explore, things to do, people to see, all that sort of stuff, rather than just, like, weapons on top of weapons on top of weapons. That said, it's just like, still are getting weapons on top of weapons here. They already showed off a couple of them, and it looks like some of the new stuff is going to be like what looks to be kind of like a modified 3rd hit from the Hayabusa Boots combo. You know, the one where you do like a big AoE hit around, hit a bunch of different guys at once. Usually pretty good for anti-air mechanic sort of deal. And it makes a big like a shockwave type. Oh wait, that's a coffin. I thought that was a vine. Never mind. Yeah, but that was like it was a basic part of that weapon, but it seems like what they're doing now is they're going to expand it into what's probably a skill. One of the other things that they showed with the little bit bigger update was doing the whatever. If you're not gonna come to me, I'll just come to you. One of the things it seems like they're going to be doing with that is expanding it into like a big like shockwave pushback mechanic. And I think one of the things that they actually showed with the more recent update that they had, where they were talking about like expanding the roadmap for the game from 8 months to 12 months, which honestly I always thought it was going to be 12 months, so that's not too much of a shock, was that they had like a big item that looked like a ball of light on top of pedestals near a shopkeeper. I'm assuming that's probably going to be the skill that they were showing in that first update. I'll make sure to put in pictures for all of these things. At least I'll remind myself to do that later. The other thing is that they had a new type of bomb on those pedestals too. Also, those pedestals were totally the original version of the warp-back points that they had in the graveyard, before they changed into kind of like a sort of a runic symbol that looked like some that looked more like a back arrow. Alright. Poor YOLO amulet. How I shall miss thee. The other thing we're looking at here is, well, wall jumping. I mean, that's a big thing. And kind of going along with the whole Hayabusa Boots thing, it looks like it's going to be less Metroid style, which I was never able to actually use proper, and more in the style of like the old school Ninja Gaiden games, where you can climb up and presumably down on walls, as well as like jumping off of them to like other walls. What do I want here? I said that I was going to get one of everything. I already did Broadsword, why not go with Blood Sword here. I'm always a fan of that. Blood Sword has terrible damage, but hey, at least it's got a good damage over time. Also, if I get anything that could possibly synergize with it, that'd be great too. But yeah, wall jumping, and it seems like they're going to be redoing a lot of rooms to... Oh, come on. Yeah, that's definitely the one that I want to get rid of here. Redoing a lot of rooms to be able to kind of accommodate that. I don't know, as far as like movement options, I always like seeing new stuff. I don't know that this one's entirely necessary. I'm sure I'll still like using it anyway. Anything that has me move faster and move more dynamically is always welcome in my eyes. Oh, that's going to be fun. Oh, there's a scroll of power up there that I almost nearly missed. But other than that, got the major update coming here at probably the end of October. I feel like they're going to air a little bit earlier than later. I mean, if they know what's good for them, there are already a lot of people complaining about, like, not having enough updates. I mean, me, I'll just take whatever, whenever. I mean, the only real reason why I want more updates is so I can make more videos. Almost just like anything that they give me is great here. But as it is, I think that Shigeru Miyamoto actually said that, like, a game that's bad is bad forever. So pretty much you take as much time as you need, Motion Twin, to actually put out good content. I'll be waiting here. I mean, I've got plenty of other poorly watched videos to produce here anyway. Ah, Lure, good. Yeah, screw that. Heavy turret's great. It gives you a nice buff to attack damage, which is something that I always welcome. So, pretty much... What else was there? Looks like they may either be introducing a new grenade, or they're going to be reskinning some more grenades. I'm still not a huge fan of the one that they did with, of the grenade version that they did of the Biter Swarm, but, it's fine. I mean, I approve of having it be more, you know, like, less looking like a gigantic bug, but... You know, it also doesn't look super great as a big pink ball that you just kind of find. Whatever. It's fine. Now, the really major interesting thing is going to be, one, relocking items in the game. That will make it way easier if you have like a full save file to be able to pick and choose what you can take out for doing, say, a... Oh, damn it. It'll make it way easier to kind of pick and choose, and, like, I think be a real boon for anybody that wants to do, like, speed runs of this game, especially that's going to be great because now you can take all of the not super great for speedrunning items, pretty much everything except for, like, the Valmont Whip, and replace them with great for speedrunning items. The Valmont Whip. And, like, Corrupted Power. Something that I don't know, because I don't know if anybody really does, like, much for speedrunning of this game. I've done my own token efforts, but, like, I've never really gone for it hardcore. Aside from that one, nearly 12-minute run-through that I had of the game. Ah, man, I would really like to have gotten the... Even though it would have meant nothing because it's still so early in the... Like, Ah, damn it. I should have taken that. I should have taken that YOLO amulet. That would have... Well, I mean, I can't. That's the whole deal with, like, doing it... The whole deal with doing, like, use what you see is to use what you see here. I'll go until I at least get a winning run. Presumably, all I need to do is just not actually have a ×2 damage multiplier weapon with me, and then, you know, function just slightly better. Especially one that I don't really like. I've turned around on most weapons that I use in this game. I have not turned around on the meat skewer. It's just a worse rapier in my opinion. I'd much rather have like just about anything else. Yeah, it's interesting they're going for kind of like, yeah, between like the Hayabusa boots type thing and the now wall climbing, which looks a lot like the classic NES Ninja Gaiden. It feels like they are kind of going for like a sort of go with that as well as, you know, your normal Metroid style, trying to stick in a little bit of Ryu Hayabusa stuff. I never really thought that the Hayabusa boots were actually going to be related to Ryu Hayabusa, or were supposed to be related, because, you know, Ryu has the, well, no, what am I even thinking? That's what I want to replace. Because Ryu has the sword, the Dragon Sword, I think it's called? I don't really remember. He doesn't use kicks in any way, as far as I know. Also, he doesn't have a black and red color scheme. He has a kind of darkish blue and red color scheme. That's not really a... Black and red has never been his thing, as far as I know. And maybe they changed that in, like, the Xbox version of the game. Well, the Xbox sequels or something like that. Ninja Gaiden Blacks, or... What was the other one called? Like Sigma? Or maybe it was just called Ninja Gaiden? I don't actually remember. But, like, I never played those ones. I've played through the original three Ninja Gaiden on the NES, and that's just about it. Why? Because those games are pretty fun. Okay, you guys gotta chill. Fine, whatever. I'm out of here. That's where having a shield would have really came in handy. So I don't know. Maybe that's kind of like what they're going for. Maybe they were going for just. Maybe they actually wanted to be like a reference to the Peregrine Falcon, or that they initially were looking at with the Hayabusa boots. I don't know. It's impossible for me to say. I'm not Motion Twin. I'm just some guy that likes to play their game. Other than that, I'm still not really planning to make a... Wow. I'm still not really planning to make, like, doing Dead Cells constantly. It's like, there's no reason to kind of wear out this game when there's nothing really to do here. Yeah, it's fun to do an occasional run of it, but I don't need to, like, you know, have everything on my channel be that all the time, unless that's really what people want. I have no idea. So the plan here is still just kind of do, like, whatever game I feel like. You know, I think that better channels are kind of made when you're not, like, strung up doing the same thing over and over anyway. I mean, there are definitely a lot of streamers out there that I feel like maybe after doing, you know, like thousands of hours of Dota, that they may kind of feel more like, well, I'm sort of trapped here. I think, like, Witwix has talked about that before, how it's like, as much as he liked doing... Oh, just a cherry. Whatever. Take that, though. I think, like, yeah, Witwix, pretty popular on a streamer on the Twitch there, talked about, like, how as much as he liked doing, what do you call it, speed runs of I Want to Be the Boshi, that game is I Want to Be the Boshi, and nobody should have to play it for that long. Something I can totally understand. So it's like, unless there's, like, a huge demand for me doing, like, 1,000 episodes of this, I think that, like, doing the occasional, like, little news update, occasional little, like, nonsense, whatever run is going to be a lot better than doing, like, endless, every day, doing a single run of this game. It's still in early access, and I'm sure, like, there's plenty of people that have never even heard of this yet, and won't even look into it until, like, the final release comes about. It makes the choice for buying something in this shop easy. Anything else would be worthwhile? Sure. I'm always a big fan of getting stats from items here. That's actually something I've kind of been wondering if they were going to redo how stat scaling works, because as it is, stat scaling is kind of crazy, wacky nonsense. Like, for example, the kind of trick run that I did where I beat the Watcher without even, like, moving, at least without even moving after the first couple seconds, definitely without attacking. I didn't actually plan that it would be done without moving, because I was thinking that it's just like, well, I'm probably going to have to dodge attacks, but I'll see if I can at least do it where I... Yeah, it's like I thought it's just like, well, I can... Oh, that was still the level 1 Impaler. I didn't even realize that. The first upgrade to a weapon I've got so far. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, when I was doing that run, I wasn't actually thinking that it was going to be without moving. I just was thinking, oh, well, I'll probably have to still, like, dodge attacks that he doesn't actually get, you know, melee range for, but I could probably do it just getting hit and not actually hitting him myself. Nope, I could do it without moving because the health scaling was so insane by the time that I got to level 16... Level 16, health, that it was like I was effectively immortal. It was And I had like really great strength on that run too, so the poison... What does strength have to do with poison? I don't know. It was doing so much damage that... Yeah, didn't even need to move. Didn't even take off like a... Didn't even get past like, what, 3/4 of my health? That's just utter nonsense. So like maybe changing that up wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, this is a game right now where you don't want to... Where you want to specialize in a stat. Specialization is the obvious way that you want to go. Like, if you don't take, you know, all strength or whatever, if you're trying to... Or if you happen to get it that every one of your stats is kind of equal, whether by coincidence or malign stat growth yourself, then you tend to be weaker than you would if you just went into tons and tons of strength or tons and tons of health, tons and tons of skills. I mean, pretty much what I'd say is always go strength. I mean, that's my favorite. If you're kind of newish at the game, always go for skills. And then maybe... Oh, whoops. Finally. Oh, those biters can be really irritating if you have a weapon that's not very well equipped to deal with them, like the rapier here, which as much as I like this weapon, has a very tiny hitbox. I definitely think that showing off like the what I want to see is like a example of new biomes, new enemies that you're going to be fighting. They've done that before, like I think they showed the trackers or something in preparation for coming up with the Darkness update, but like I haven't seen anything yet of like new biomes or stuff. I'm hoping that we are going to be getting like an actual for real boss coming up in this new update. That's what I want to see more than anything else, because like Watcher. And then like I mean, I gotta go get that now. Because, like, the Watcher is still a pain. I think that I think the Watcher is actually somewhat, oops, that was the wrong one. I think the Watcher is actually somewhat, buffed up compared to what he would be in the, final game, because he has just... I'd rather have the health right now. Because he has just a crazy amount of health compared to, like, the incomplete one. And if you're not really speccing into, like, a single... If you don't happen to get like a very high damaging weapon, or if you're not specializing in a single stat, he takes a long time to actually kill. So it feels like he might be like slightly buffed up like compared to what they want in the final version, because he's supposed to be the final boss right now. So they have him be like a little bit more special of a fight compared to what like he would eventually be otherwise. I mean, yeah, I have 2 videos on the channel right now of me nearly one-shotting the Watcher. One where I'm successful, one where I'm not, which kind of showed me that the amount of health he has right now is around like 115, 120,000 health, which is huge, just absolutely enormous. And I feel like that's going to be difficult for a more casual player to deal with at any stretch. I mean, I've certainly seen a lot of people complaining on like the Steam forums about like how difficult he is to fight. And I don't disagree. He can be very tough. I mean, he's certainly not impossible or anything. Oh, I've beaten him without moving. An overpowered boss fight. Come on, you guys. I was wondering how that worked. Oh, I need more strength so bad right now. Hopefully I can get a couple, like, cursed chests in the... Hopefully I can get, like, a couple cursed chests in the, graveyard when I'm coming up here. Yeah. That said, other than that, I think that, like, it's good to see that there's an actual time on doing the old, new update here. I've been wondering for a while. I mean, I was predicting that, like, the end of August there, that it's like, we're probably gonna get something by the start of September. Why? Because that's generally how they've been doing it. Like, they said that they want to get up, like, some sort of update a month. I'm glad that they, with the daily update, that there was at least something rather than nothing. Because, like, man, having, like, 4 months before we actually got any news would have been, like, crazy. I mean, I know it's still a... what do I even care? I'll just go sell, like, the next items that I mean, I'm going to be, like, selling the rapier and everything as soon as I get that. Also, despite explicitly going for strength, I still only have 3 and 4 skill right now. Man, I hate when that happens. You get there's some runs where you get incredibly lucky and you just get everything you want. And then there's a lot of other runs where not so much. Oh, well, you know what? Screw fighting enemies here. I'm just going to go for whatever items that I can get right off the... Oh, amazing. Whatever, dude. It's like I can't even use it anywhere. There's no... Definitely gonna... I mean, I don't know how many actual, like, items they're going to be adding in the new update. I'm still going to be doing the challenge runs for each of them, because those are fun to do. But, you know, like I said, I don't want to overstay the welcome. So, like what? I could probably try out doing the, maybe, like, some skill-only runs, but, like, that's not that interesting. I could maybe try doing, like, some ones related to... like bows or whatever, but bows tend to be difficult to use and a lot of waiting around because when you're up against a boss or a really powerful enemy, or it's just yes. As much as I don't like this, and I would rather have the regular rapier, it's like I need something that has more damage right now, and this does. Though it's really only that final hit that. Oh, there we go. That's what I need. Come on. There, jeez. That is a weird makeup of the level. I don't think I've ever seen like a level chunklet look like that before. Ah, come on. Yeah, alright. Whatever, if I die from this, video's over. I think that you've gotten your fill, and I don't know if there's too much that more that I can talk about here anyway. I mean, I would assume that most people are, like, shutting this off a couple seconds after I stop talking about the news, which is pretty quick. There you go. Alright, never mind, runs on. Well, might be off again in about 5 seconds. Ah, jeez. These bats are still annoying. Bloodsword's not that fast of a weapon. Also, I would much rather have a shield at this point. That would be way more helpful for dealing with a lot of these enemies than a electric whip, which tends not to be the most powerful thing. Kind of surprised to see a cursed chest in the Fog Fjord. Generally, that doesn't happen too often. Like, I think it's more because you only see, like, one chest or so in the Fog Fjord when you're going through it. And I still am not entirely sure how the mechanics for that work out, but I think it's supposed to be, like, there's just a random chance for a normal chest to be replaced by a cursed chest, rather than... Alright, whatever. Alright, well, that was the news portion of the gameplay here. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time there's some sort of update.